All right, here we are. I'm going to show you my new website called StockStack. This is a website that helps you track wish lists, watch lists for stocks and securities. So this is the home page if you haven't been signed in yet. So you can sign in here. If you haven't already signed up, you can sign up here manually as well, or we can log in through Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and sign up as a new user. Click sign up. And then we have our new home page. These will be probably just pictures in the meantime with some links, but eventually I want to have some graphs as a future enhancement. And then over here we have our site menu as well. And here, if you had put in a logged in through Facebook, there's a picture, so you can have your picture here. But since I didn't, there's no pictures, so I could go into profile actions though, see my portfolio as a whole. So this is going to be every stock that I own. I just signed up, so right now I have 0. And then you can edit your profile details, sign out, or delete your profile altogether. If I had put in my name or sign up through Facebook, it would show it here. I think I put it in here. Oop. So the big things we have in here is the securities. These are going to be the stocks that you want to own. This connects with via an API to an outside source. IDX, I believe, is the site that it connects with. So that's the securities, and then as you save them to your profile, you'll select watch lists for them to be assigned to. So you can look at your watch list as well. Again, right now I don't have any because I'm a brand new user, but we'll show how this works in just a second. And we also have over here the top securities. These are going to be the most recently searched securities. We also have IPO Center here, which is a feature that's coming soon. Right now there's no IPOs, but it's something I want to add in at a future date. So if I go back to my profile actions or anywhere really in the site, we can look up a security. So this is going to be the first step in getting something put into your name. So you look up security and we can see a 2-field lookup. So we can look up by symbol. So let's look for, I have a Disney stock right now, so let's go Disney. And then here we say if there's both symbol and the company name, it will give precedence to the symbol. Look it up. It's going to go connect the API and finds the stock. Gives you all of its details here. So we can see the highlights here. We have this latest price. What is the change, recent change in dollars and percent. Year-to-date change as well. And then the volume. And then the last updates, which we haven't, it's not on the site right now, but if it had the data there, then you would see the last updates. And down here we have the full detail. This is going to include the updated at, so this is when it was updated on the site. So if I was to update it again in like an hour, this would be an hour later. So you have a whole lot of information here that you can look through. And then it's saved to the database as this Disney stock. So next time I search for Disney, using that search function, it's going to find it by this stock. It's going to pull up this instance. So since the stocks change, we want to make sure that we're connected to the database. So if I'm looking around and I'm looking at this and I say, I want to see what the current values are, I would click refresh data. Since it hasn't been very long, I don't know if anything's going to change. We could see. Okay, you might not be able to tell the difference here, but if this had been a day or two later, then all this would change when I click the refresh data. If I click it now, it refreshes, and then this would have everything that's up to date. So that's wonderful. I can see the stock and decide if I like it, if I want to follow it. If I do, then I can go ahead and go to the actions, and I can click add to portfolio. This is going to say add to a watch list, so I can type in a new one because I'm a brand new user. I haven't done this before. So let's say my first watch list name, watching my favorite stocks. And if there was any, we could choose an existing one as well, which we'll see in just a second. Here we can create the watch list, and now you can see in the actions it's associated to that watch list. So it's got my first watch list. It also changes your actions, so you can remove it from this watch list as well. You could add to a different watch list. So if you have multiple things, maybe this is high cap stocks, and then also my favorite stocks, and then also entertainment stocks. You can have different types of watch lists for different purposes. And then you can remove it from a portfolio as well, which means that if I did have this on several different watch lists, this would just strip it from everything, whereas this would just remove it from the one. So if I add it to another watch list, I could choose this one again if it was, if I go to a different stock, this is handy. Not so much when you're just looking at the same one. So let's do another one and say the other stock list. Oops. Yeah, because I left that clicked. Do that again. So now it logs and it attaches to this stock list as well. So you can see how we have multiple stocks here, or stock lists. So this could be for one reason, this is another, but maybe this stock falls into both. So we have it for two. So I can remove it from an individual watch list like this. Just type in random stuff. Or I can remove it from the portfolio as a whole and it'll be gone. So if I go back over to my watch lists, they're gone. But now let's go back and do service or Salesforce. This is a pretty inactive stock today, so you can see it's changed only 0.001%. Not a whole lot of data, but let's say I want to watch. So we put into new watch. And again, it gets attached here. The other thing to notice is up here in this green bar, as you add more stocks to your name, it has this little ticker symbol with the change. So if I add another one, if I go back and I can do Disney again, we'll add it to the same one. So now if I go to my watch lists, I can see that here's the new watch list we've been looking at. It's got two securities. Here's the total value of it right now. And here's the latest change. And you can see that both the stocks are now added to this green bar. So as you add more and more, it'll kind of be a full profile ticker. You can click into here to see the watch list's details. So you have your watch list name, little description. You can edit that to change the description if you want. For now, I'll leave it alone. You have two securities, and then you have recent performance data. So here's the total value, and here's the total change in dollars and in percents. If you want to see what the securities are, you click this little View Securities button, and it comes up here. We can see watch list securities. So even if I had 1 million stocks in my portfolio, this would only show these two because they're the only ones associated with that watch list. So we can see some summary data here. We can see they're both in the portfolio. And we can look up a new one if we wanted. In our top securities, you can see that this has been added because it's been searched. So these are going to be, I think it's the last 5 searches that anybody has done on the entire site. So if there were a lot of users, it would kind of show you what are the hot ones that people are looking at today. You can look up security from here as well. And you can kind of keep doing that and looking at your different trackers. This could be used as like a simulation to see how are you doing if you were to do this, try out new strategies in the stock market. It also could be what stocks you actually have for a quick view to see how it's all doing and do you have to make any changes to your portfolio on that type of a thing. If I come over here, you can also see the total portfolio. So actually, before we do that, let's look up a different security. Add it to a portfolio and another list. Okay, so now we'll see 3 securities up here. But if I go into my watch lists, I'll have 2 of them, and you can see there's just the 2 for this one, just the 1 for here. And if I go to my profile actions, you'll see all 3. And that's so just you can get different views, see what your profile as a whole is doing, what's these specific watch lists for whichever purpose. You can kind of monitor them separately. You can look at individual stocks and add them to your account as you go. And that's it for right now. I do have a couple of different plans for how this is going to look in the future. As I learn a little bit more, I'm going to start implementing different features, different API calls for the IPO Center and some other specific functionality as well. And then as I learn how to input graphs and graphics and things like that, I'm going to be building out this homepage as well. That's it for now. I'll talk to you guys once I add some more features.